Hi, I'm Rachelle Rene, and I currently practice at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
My name is Carol Ryan, and I practice at the Samaritan Center in Elkhart, Indiana. When you think about what sexual violence means, it makes your world unsafe. You feel overpowered. There's a lot of indignancy, and you're just disgusted, and the world gets very dark. And when you're in a group and you start understanding that not everyone is a perpetrator, that there are people that can be compassionate, that can hold some of that pain without talking you out of it. It gives you a sense of perspective and support at a time when you feel very alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the amazing thing about group is that it provides a space, a safe space, and also allows you to connect with other people in a very profound way, but also provides a mirror for which that you can really delve into what's happening or what has happened, and also maybe it provides a sense of buffering to not only just address the issue in the here and now, but also connect it from when it happened. So I think group is tremendously powerful, especially in this day and age.
It also gives people a voice and an audience to be heard. And that's very important for a victim, a survivor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
With regard to the politics in our country right now, there's a great deal of guardedness, anger, fear. They're not sure that they have the support that they need when they see elected officials who have a very questionable attitude and questionable history get in office and stay in power. I think that there's a great deal of fear and just uncertainty of where they stand in the current affairs, and that transfers into group. Of if you have a mixed population, where do we stand? Are we safe? Can I trust my story here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it provides a great deal of ambivalence. Can I truly share my story, and will it be believed? Or will it be shunned, or do I need to keep it locked and hidden for more years? But certainly there's a lot of feelings that's pervasive within the groups.
I think there's also this almost distortion lately where we're starting to go, well, was I really a victim? I didn't stop it sooner, or, this bizarre justification. And we need to get back to that. And a group can really kind of push all that out and say, in the here and now, I believe you and I support you. Well, I know for me, I automatically assume that when someone discloses, there's several others that are not able to. So I may use the person who's speaking, knowing I'm also communicating to other people that might be unable to find a voice. And I think, again, normalizing the experience without minimizing it is really important, that their suffering is significant. And it makes a lifelong impact, but that at the same time they can be empowered and they can heal and believe that they can take that experience and not necessarily leave it behind, but transform it so that they're matured by it and given a perspective, but they're not controlled and broken by it either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would add to that, providing a sense of reassurance that no matter when your story is told, it is your story and it is okay. And really having a network of community that supports you. So if it needs to begin with just a friend or a loved one, that story is told. And again, just the overwhelming sense of reassurance that no matter when I tell my story, it is my story and it is the truth of my experience. For others, they might find journaling a way of engaging in terms of sharing that story. Finding things that are peaceful, things that are calming, whether it's an environment, again, or whether it's a network of those that support you, that are part of your village, that are part of your family, whether it's your natural family or the family that you yourself create. And I think in a sense, group does offer that option as well. But certainly just providing a sense of calm and reassurance to those that are telling their stories.
Your comment reminded me that oftentimes in group, this is the first time they're speaking. It might be the very first time that they share that. So when the environment is supportive, it can diminish the fear that they will not be received or that they're going to be ostracized. And it's also, for the people who witness that, a very, very close-up personal view of the suffering that sexual assault and the abuse of that nature really causes a person.
And I think just to add to that, also giving a sense of respect, to the individual, that they don't have to be forced or shunned into having to tell their story either, and being able to own it in their own way. And not having it to be made a spectacle of as well. So I think the sense of respect is really key and also very important.
It is very important for we as women to see and hear from the men. It's wonderful if they nod and they understand and they're trying to reach, but if they remain silent, for many of the women in our group, the wall went up. It's like you're still separate, you're still aloof. That's our problem. When it's everyone's problem. It's not just a woman's issue. And I think also when you have mixed groups, just to really understand that they're going to have different maybe responses, but you're going to see that with everybody, the differences in every individual. But for me, I think it's inviting the man in without him having to excuse it or defend it or anything. Just experience this with us, join us, because many times they themselves are suffering and unable to find a voice. So when they join us, they might find their voice.
Right, and absolutely. And again, a mixed group could be a microcosm or representation of our world. So to have a mixed group provides its own sense of power as well. And both men and women could be victims, of what we're really talking about here. So I think, as group leaders, it's providing that space so that, one, there's understanding from women that have been victims of sexual assault, as well as from men, and that the message that's conveyed from either gender is one that is of respect and one that is of holding the space for that individual to really share and express their story, their hurt, or whatever that experience might be. So I think it's wonderful to invite that and also to allow it to emerge as it does, but in a way that really uplifts and supports the individuals.
And oftentimes in a group, they can, more seasoned members can example that kind of behavior. Mm-hmm. So if somebody has never spoken about it or never witnessed somebody revealing that, and they'll stand there, well, if they can watch, there's a learning environment here as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a therapeutic and learning environment at the same time.
And, one of the things that happens in group is also like a corrective experience. So if, perhaps the men in your life were not so respectful, if you will. That's not quite the word. But the group provides that opportunity in a mixed group to correct perhaps that negative experience that might have happened by getting a different corrective or healthy response that then really empowers the women and or the men who've been through sexual assault.
What I want people to know is that compliant behavior is not consent. That people might go along with things not because they really want this, but they don't have the skills or the power or the privilege to stop it.
Yeah, and they may not have the voice in the moment to say, no, or I don't want to do this, or this is not acceptable. And for that to truly be heard. I think really listening and allowing people to simply be and be heard is really part of the conversation that needs to continually occur.
I think another thing that needs to be said or that's missing is that we know, as women, we know that men are sexually assaulted as well. But at the same time, we still have a right to speak about that as a female without the male perspective.
The Women's SIGs provide a forum for women to discuss issues that affect women, and it's really I would say a safe space to really discuss all manners of topic that impact us in many ways.
I joined the SIG not because I was an ardent feminist that was very well informed, but for the exact opposite reason, that I wasn't well informed, that I wasn't really attuned to the issue, that it hadn't affected me as directly as it might other. And so it's been a great opportunity to just kind of link arms with other women that are powerful and successful and very well informed.
Absolutely.